On today's episode, we are going to take a look at the top earnings this week. We're going to take a look at the top 5 stocks that I really want to take a look at, and we're going to go a bit in detail of how they collect their revenue. So let's get started. This week of April 27th of 2020 is going to be a really huge week for earnings. We have so many companies reporting, so that means I'm going to be pretty busy doing videos. So if you guys want me to do any of these videos or any of these companies, feel free to post on the comments and let me know, Jose, do this video for me. Like always, guys, make sure to subscribe, give a thumbs up, and ring the bell. This helps the small channel out so much, and I truly appreciate it. So now let's take a look at Monday. Monday seems to be a pretty slow day. There's not any real company that I truly want to take a look at. Applied Materials might be one. I think they are a semiconductor, but none of them really call my name. Now, when we take a look at Tuesday seems to be one of the funnest days. I can't wait for Tuesday to happen. I have so many videos planning there. So before open, we have some big guys. We have Southwest, and everything with the airlines right now is definitely going to be a big movement there. Then we have 3M with the whole government act that it forced 3M to do certain things. I want to see how that has affected the company. And we also have some other big ones, UPS and Caterpillars, which pretty much just show how the world is transporting stuff, and Caterpillar, how the world is constructing stuff. We also have an oil company, BP. And any of you guys interested in the oil should definitely check out Tuesday morning. We have, as BP is reporting. But to me, the fun part begins on after close. After close, we have my boy AMD. We have Alphabet, which is Google. Another one, my two of my favorite stocks are AMD and Alphabet. And later on in this episode, we're going to take a little bit more in detail on those two especially. We also have Starbucks, and Starbucks has had a slowdown in China. So I want to see how Starbucks is doing, and overall the whole food restaurant business. I know there's a lot of people that might like iRobot. I see iRobot is a trendy stock. I haven't done much research on it, but with more people being home right now, I wonder if more people are buying iRobots, because even though they're home, they're still lazy to clean. And now they have more mess with doing more movement around the house. So I wonder if more people are buying more Roombas. Then we have Wednesday. Wednesday is another fun day, and we have Boeing with all the air traffic and all the air slowdown in aircraft purchase is definitely going to see some crazy days. And we have MasterCard. I'm pretty bullish in the whole type of payment stocks, so MasterCard I'm pretty excited to take a look in. Then we have Spotify, and Spotify I think we might see, just like everything else we see in Netflix, we see in Disney Plus, an increase in subscribers, and I'm expecting to see Spotify to show similar trend as more people subscribe to Spotify. As they work from home, they want to listen to more music, they want to listen to more podcasts. We have Hasbro, the action figure and toys company. I want to see how that's going to Hasbro, right? How much of a slowdown has happened, or are parents buying their kids more toys to keep them busy while at home? And this is still Wednesday morning. We also have Blue Apron. Blue Apron, I know, is one of those food delivery, like the food subscription boxes. I wonder if more people right now are doing this since they don't want to go out to supermarkets and buy. Wednesday after hours is going to be another amazing day like Tuesday after hours. We have Tesla, we have Microsoft, which again, Microsoft and Facebook are two I'm pretty bullish on, and those are two we're also going to take a look at later in this episode. And then Teladoc, obviously with everything going around, Teladoc is going to be one that a lot of people are going to be watching. This is the one where you're able to talk to your doctor over webcam and other internet style. Then we have Qualcomm, which is a semiconductor. We have eBay too, if some people might want to know, hey, are people still buying off stuff eBay? So Tuesday and Wednesday definitely seems to be strong, and Thursday is not gonna be any different. So Thursday we have, before open, American Airlines, so same like Southwest and Delta that just reported this past week. We just want to see how heavy all these companies are gonna be hit. For me, Delta, which we just reported, and Southwest are my favorite airlines because those two are the ones with the best balance sheets. American Airlines is not too bad, but the one I'm really against right now is United Airlines. That's the one I think that has the worst balance sheets of them all. Thursday morning, we still got Twitter. And Twitter, are we going to see that same thing with Snapchat and Facebook? Are they all going to continue to report great user growth for this quarter? More people being home, or more people checking in on other people. We also have McDonald's before, and Kraft Heinz, which is one of the main consumer items. A few other actually before open on Thursday. We have Nokia. So Nokia is many people might know them as the phone that's indestructible, but they're also working on 5G, and that's one of the main 5G stocks. We have Comcast, and we have Cigna, a healthcare provider, and Six Flags. Six Flags has probably taken a beating lately. Next, after hours like Tuesday and Wednesday, we're gonna see some great companies. We're gonna see Amazon report, and that's another company we're actually gonna take a look at today. Apple reports. Gillette, which is one of the big companies leading this whole coronavirus vaccine stuff, is reporting. We have United Airlines, one of my least favorite airlines, and then we have Visa, another online payment tool. Friday seems to be a pretty slow day unless you're in the oil business. If you're in the oil business, before open, we have Friday, ExxonMobil, and we also have Chevron. And those, like I said, if you are in the oil sectors, will most likely want to check those out. After hours on Friday, there's usually nothing because everybody's already home. So now let's take a look at the companies I'm going to take a look at. And first, let me just tell you off the bat, the companies we're going to see. We're going to take a look at first at AMD. Then we're going to take a look at Google, followed by Microsoft, followed by Facebook, followed by Amazon. Those are going to be the top 5 companies we're going to take a look at. And when we take a look at them, we're going to take a look at their revenue and how that revenue is divided among them, how it's spread out. And finally, we're going to take a look at what the forward PE ratio for these companies seems to be. So first, let's start off with AMD, and AMD has been my golden goose, has laid so many golden eggs for me, and this right now is a company that will forever hold a strong spot in my heart. One of the first companies I invested in back in 2017, 2016. Obviously, at the time, I was a small investor, but I've learned so much from them, and I'm trying to find my next AMD in the future, and that's where I'm heading. I know I'm gonna find my next one. So AMD right now, if we compare it to February highs, which were around $58, right now the company has only moved about 5% below its current price. So it's still pretty higher than it was all of December. So AMD has provided some great rewards for its investors. So now let's take a look at AMD and their revenue breakdown. So pretty much AMD has 2 forms of revenues. For example, this past quarter for this company collected a revenue of $2.1 billion. And a majority of that comes from computing and graphics. And computing and graphics made up $1.6 billion of that total revenue. And computing and graphics is pretty much, if you guys know much about AMD, they pretty much create some of the major components that go into computers: the CPU, the brain, and the GPU, which is pretty much the part that does some great mathematics, and if you're a gamer, is the part that does all the graphics work for you. So that makes up a huge portion of this company's revenue. And just compared to a year ago, that segment was up 69%. So you're seeing that strong growth in AMD. The second part is enterprise, embedded, and semi-customs. Here in this part is where you see, if you guys have ever heard of data centers, these are where the chips for the data centers are in. And also, if you guys don't know, AMD is the chip that goes into most consoles. They go into the PS4 and they go into the Xbox One. They have also been the ones selected to go into the next consoles coming out earlier this December, and that's for the PS5, and I forget what the new Xbox is called. So that's where this segment of revenue is coming, and I am expecting this to be a really big beat, for this part of the segment to be a really big beat, because those orders from Microsoft and Sony are going to be coming in. And the only other thing I want to take a look about AMD, and it's just the crazy growth this company has gone throughout the past quarters, one that I have been following for such a long time. we can see this company has a cash of about $1.5 billion. On average, this company has stated that they want to keep an average of $1 billion in cash at all times. So this company definitely has pretty strong amount of cash at hand, higher than it even wants to. And then a lot of people used to complain that AMD used to be a very strong debt company. But if we take a look at AMD now, it is completely different from where it was before. In quarter one of 2018, this company had about 3.4 times more debt than it had cash. Now the things have changed. Now this company has about 2 times more cash than it has debt. So now let's take a look at what analysts expect this company to do for December 2021. I pretty much just want to look at forward PE ratio. So for 2021, this company is expected to make $1.57, which gives this company a forward PE ratio of 35.68. 35.68 seems a little bit high, but the AMD is a growing company, and we do see growing companies to have a little bit higher forward PE ratio than most companies that are pretty stable. Next, let's take a look at Google. So Google Alphabet, this company in February peaked somewhere around $1,500, and right now it's down about 16% from where it's at. And we're going to see one of the biggest reason for this is a lot of the company's revenue comes from advertising, and this is something that we're also going to see in Facebook. So obviously investors are pretty scared and are gonna jump off the ship, but a 16% gives to me has given me a great buying opportunities. Google was one of the few companies that I have always taken a look at, but I just never jumped the ship. And now with these buying opportunities, I have to say I have jumped into the ship a numerous amount of times. So let's take a look at Google's past quarter. So in their past quarter, they reported about 46 billion. Let me repeat that, $46 billion of revenue. Most of that portion comes from Google advertising. Out of that $46 billion, $37 billion comes from Google advertising. So close to over 75% comes from advertising. So we can see why people are jumping ship if such a huge portion of this company's revenue comes from advertisement. Then this company has some other items. First, it makes very minimal, like I want to say 5% of its money, 5% of its revenue comes from Google Cloud. But clouding is another item I'm pretty bullish on. So Google Cloud grew about a little bit close to 80% compared to same time last year in its most recent quarter, and that just shows the strength of the cloud potential right now. So I'm definitely excited, right? Even though the revenue might have slowed down because of ads, the amount of people using Google right now, the amount of people watching YouTube videos right now has probably increased dramatically with everybody working from home. Now let's take a look at this company's forward PE ratio. For December of 2021, this company is expected to make $54 per share. That gives this company a forward PE ratio of 23.68. Now that kind of seems a little bit normal to where it's at. I've actually been a big buyer when this company's forward PE ratio was close to 20, but it's still one of my favorite companies for 3 major reasons. I want to say Google is the first. Google as a whole. If you are not using Google, I don't know what the heck you're using. Next, YouTube. The amount of time you spend on YouTube, let's be honest. And 3, the clouding service. The clouding service can take this company in such a far place and continue to see strong growth in this company. I mean, let's just take a look at revenue growth. For 2020, this company is expected to make $167 billion. In 2021, this company is expected to make $203 billion. That right there is over a 20% growth, I want to say. Maybe a little bit less, but definitely over 10%, and maybe in the 15th, but that's some crazy growth there. And Google is definitely one of my favorite stocks and one I'm gonna keep looking at. Next, we're here taking a look at Microsoft. Microsoft, again, has been one of those companies that I have had more buying opportunities in this big drop. Right now, with this current price it's at right now, I have slowed down, but anything below 150 was things I liked. So if we take a look at February of 2020 compared to now, this company is down about 7% from its highs in February. If we take a look at Microsoft's main source of revenue, so for this most recent quarter, this company made $36 billion in revenue. And its revenue is actually broken down pretty evenly between 3 types of sectors. The first sector is productivity and business process. So this is pretty much all your office, all the software you use at your office, from Skype to what else? Skype, Microsoft Office, LinkedIn, any Dynamics program. And I know Zoom has come in, but a lot of the big firms still continue to use Skype and Microsoft Teams. And I think that's not going to change. For example, at my job, we're not even going to touch Zoom. The next sector, which comes with about $12 billion, so similar to productivity and business, is revenue in intelligent cloud. So here they pretty much have their clouding process, Azure, which continues to see strong growth. The last quarter compared to the same time last year, Azure saw about a 30% growth. Actually, 62% growth. The overall cloud service saw about a 30% growth. And again, another reason I am bullish. Their final segment is more personal computing, and this is another one I do expect to be up with more people working from home. More people are purchasing more laptops. More of these laptops are using Microsoft products. More people working from home need Office 365 and need more of these Microsoft softwares that are used for business productivity. I'm not sure we're going to see much of an increase in the Surface sales or any increase in Xbox content, especially since a lot more people are waiting for the future consoles to come out. So I definitely think we're going to see a decrease in Xbox content. Now let's take a look at what analysts expect for this company. For June of 2021, this company is expected to make $6.12. This gives this a company a forward PE ratio of 28.53. Next, we're gonna take a look at Facebook, and Facebook has had such a good week this week, all thanks to Snapchat. Snapchat reported some great, amazing user reports, but it is still down compared to its highs in February. Compared to its highs in February, this company is still down close to 13%. And the main reason is mostly all of its revenue, just like Google, comes from advertisements. All right, so now let's take a look at Facebook's total revenue for this most recent quarter. In its most recent quarter, revenue collected $21 billion of revenue. Out of that $21 billion, $20.7 billion came from advertising. So we can see why investors are pretty worried right now with just the way the market is going. One of the first costs that companies start to cut off is actually advertising. So a lot of investors are scared, and that's why we still see this company down 13%. Now, if we take a look at this company's estimation for the future, in December 2021, this company is expected to make $9.43. This gives this company a forward PE ratio of $20, which to me seems kind of fair valued. It's a company that have added playing throughout this downturn, and at this price, it still seems pretty enticing. Finally, the last company we're going to take a look at is Amazon, and Amazon has been one of the biggest winners for this company, for this market. And compared to February of 2020, this company is up about 10%. So there's only a few companies that have actually beaten the market rate, that have been higher than they were in February. That's we're going to see: Amazon, Teladoc, Zoom, Netflix. So all these what we call coronavirus stocks. So what's going on with Amazon? Amazon, let's take a look first at how the revenue is broken down. And here in their most recent earnings, they broke down their net sales. So in their trailing 12 months of the most recent earnings, about 61% of the total revenue comes from North America. 27% comes from international sales, and 12% comes from AWS, which is pretty much their clouding service. So the only one I really want to take a look at is AWS, because look, AWS only makes up 12% of this company's sales. But if we take a look at operating income, this actually makes more operating income than the other two segments, which make up the 88% of this company's total sales. That's pretty impressive. Look, let's just take a look at math. So North America, like I mentioned, was 61% of total sales. With 61% of total sales, North America makes up about $1.9 billion in operating income. International sales, which made up 22% of total sales, makes up it's actually losing money. It's losing about $617 million this past quarter. AWS, which is only 12% of this company's total sale, makes up $2.6 billion. Again, this alone makes more, even though it's only 12% of the sales, makes more money than the whole company's business. And I think that's pretty crazy. And seeing this growth, sales are up 34% for AWS, and I'm pretty excited about anything that has to do with clouding at the moment. The clouding I definitely see as a big future company, and again, main reason I'm pretty bullish on Google, Microsoft, and Amazon are for those segments. Nvidia's in there, and AMD as well as Micron, because they all provide some form of device to help this cloud segment growth. Right, we have AMD and Intel and Nvidia that all provide either chips or graphics cards for these. We have Micron that provides the memories for these. So all these companies, I think, are gonna be helped out by this clouding server boom. All right, so next let's take a look at Amazon's forward PE ratio. So analysts expect this company for 2021, so again, that's 2 years from now, to have a forward PE ratio of 61.39. They're expected to make about $40 in 2021 per share. And even though I am a fan of Amazon, I have never been a fan of their valuation. And obviously I've been completely wrong about this company, but that to me, it's okay. Because if this company has, every time I look at a company, I always look if the investment makes sense to me. And the thing is, if the investment does not make sense to me, if I go in and it goes horribly wrong, I'm gonna be kicking myself really hard. And if the investment doesn't go, if I don't believe the investment is good and I don't go in and the company goes up, it doesn't really affect me at all. So again, I'm pretty happy for anybody that has invested in Amazon, but for me, I just don't have the guts to hold it. And obviously that has been the wrong move, but for me, it has been the right move, which I think is really weird to explain, but that's just the type of investor I am. And I have to follow my rules because that is what helps me in this market. So like I said, all these companies are going to be reporting this week. And let me know, guys, what companies are you guys excited to see this upcoming week? I'm definitely 100% excited to see AMD, Google, and Microsoft. Those are three of my favorite companies. So those are the ones I'm definitely gonna do a video on. But if you guys want me to do a video on any of these, make sure to post in the comments and let me go like, Jose, make sure to do this video for me and I'll try my best. So take care, guys. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up. It helps the small channel out so much and I appreciate all the support I'm getting. So take care, guys, and good night.